Welcome in, Pirate fans, to tonight's podcast of the Coach Rob Woodward Show. Coach, congratulations on your 10-0 season. SOC champs, you got to be proud of your kids. Talk about the game against West that you can recall that where you guys come out victorious.
Well, thanks, Eugene. I really appreciate the congrats there. You know, we can talk about it now. We don't talk about it throughout the season because we try to really keep tunnel vision on game by game. But the kids did an outstanding job, and it wasn't easy. West didn't make it easy. I didn't expect him to. Coach Johnson always has his guys ready to play. And, they got number 30 back there, quarterback. He hadn't been in there for a while, and they were running some few new things that we had to make some slight adjustments to. And we definitely, there were times, and we've done that for 3 weeks now, where we've left some points on the field. And, we recognize that, and I'm sure everyone else does that was there to watch the game and sees things. And but the kids made the adjustments they needed to make, and stayed with it, and really ran hard. I thought made some big plays. Taylor Doyle had 2 big interceptions. Tanner Holden had a big catch. I thought Keaton Newsom ran outstanding. The line blocked very well. We had a couple plays where West posed some things against us that kind of we slipped up on, and hats off to them for that. But overall, we finished the season there with that final cap of a 10-0 season against them, and that was a good another little learning experience for us, a little lead-in into the playoffs here.
Coach, it's always good to see that West did kind of caught you off guard with the passing, but when you go back and look at it, you guys still did really good against the run. What do you attribute your run defense to?
Well, we did do very good against the run overall. I think our defensive line, Coach May does an outstanding job of having those guys ready. Coach Johnson with the defensive ends. Linebackers were coming downhill early on. Evan Dom was just rocking some people there early on. He got himself banged up there a little bit and kind of slowed himself up. Coach Tilley got to working with him and working with the linebackers there on how to make a few adjustments, and got ourselves back on track there a little later on in the game. We had to make some adjustments with our secondary with that. But again, that's what the game of football is about. It's about being able to line up and make adjustments when you go out. And West played a good physical game against us, but we hung in there, and we're able to. They did hit it. We fell down once on a pass play, and there was a couple times where we were a little soft back there in terms of taking on guys that were coming out and blocking us. But again, ultimately, we stepped up and made the plays when they need to be made.
The one thing you can always say about Wheelersburg is that they will always come to play no matter what the game is, and I think fans always need to realize that Wheelersburg is always going to take somebody's best shot, and I thought Wheelersburg did a good job of taking West's best shot from Friday night.
Yeah, it is a cliche that we always say, but we know it's coming, and I love to see teams respect the game and play it the way it's meant to be played, and West did just that. They came out and they had their kids ready, they were prepared, they fought hard, and that makes for good football. I don't want to go out there and have to, not go against somebody that's not given the best effort. And that, I don't mean to say that any team necessarily hasn't given that, but I love to see a good football game and our kids to be tested. And if we can be tested and still come out winning the ball game, well, I'm happy with that because we learn. We're growing, and that gives us an opportunity to grow. And we're all the time trying to utilize personnel and find. Put kids in challenging situations and see how they stack up, how they perform, and go back, talk to them about, this is, you're not cut out for this, and, we're going to try you here, or this isn't going to work, or hey, this is going to work, and this is a good step for us to take and kind of expand on this, and that, that's all. It's about teaching and learning and growing kids to be more mature out there physically and mentally on the field, and the Wheelersburg West game is always a game where that takes place, and this was no different this year.
I want to brag on your kids a little bit. I was able to podcast on the sideline this weekend, and your seniors came down the line and made sure that the younger classmen were paying attention to the ball game. I thought that was impressive. I don't know if you saw that or picked up on that or even directed it, but it was pretty impressive to see those guys come down the line and say, get your head in the ball game if you're not participating.
Well, it's we've obviously spent some years working on leadership, and you really don't see leadership shown by players until they're really given the chance to. And Friday night was a game where we took all of our freshmen with us, and we had all of our younger guys with us to the game, and they're there on the sidelines with us, and that definitely pleases me to hear that the guys stepped up and when given the opportunity, rose to try to make sure that those guys were engaged and saw where it was. And again, that's just something that we're trying to do in terms of our player development. I may learn something different later on, but right now, over the last 3 to 4 years, that player development has really worked in our favor and has been putting together some great groups of kids that are growing and learning through the ranks and knowing what it is and what they have to step up and do. And we'll continue to try to build on that. We never want to settle and feel like we're complacent with where we're at. We're always trying to challenge and push our kids, put them in uncomfortable situations, because again, that's when growth comes. When you get some kids into some uncomfortable situations, and again, it all goes back to teaching and learning, and what we're trying to do with our players.
Well, Coach, we won't keep you any longer. I know you got to get on with the playoffs here and a whole new season, and we'll talk a little bit more about it whenever we get done with Saturday. But what do you find special about high school playoffs?
Oh, I tell the kids all the time, high school playoffs is something I didn't get to experience as a player. It's really funny to think about, but I played 4 years of high school football and never even knew how teams won a state championship. What did they do? How did it happen? Where did they play games? What took place? I had no concept of that. The way I understood it was you played 10 games and hey, move on to the next sport. See you later. I didn't understand what that whole concept was. And then I came back from college and said, I'm going to go to a high school football playoff game. And I went to one and was hooked from there. And, they're so exciting. It's such an exciting time. And I'm always reminding the players to not take for granted this opportunity that they have, because, there's only so many teams in the state that get that out of 700 high schools. You're one of the 4 regions and 7 divisions, each of which have 8 teams, and within those are 32 teams, out of 7 divisions that are getting to play in the playoffs. And don't take that for granted and recognize that we're not going to worry about last year's experiences this year. And nothing ensures that for the younger guys that they'll get that chance next year, so take advantage of it now. And, I'm always trying to talk to our players about that. And really enjoyed it. It's an exciting time for our coaches, our coaching staff, our community, our players, our school. We try to really embrace the moment and make the most of it.
Well, the one thing is you guys get that home game, and that's always nice to have there at Ed Miller Stadium on Saturday night. Any final thoughts before we get off here?
No, I look for a big crowd. I know Ridgewood brings a large fan base. It's a long drive for them, but I expect them to travel. They were here in 2007 and 2010, and have always brought a good group. A lot of orange and black on their side too, but I want to hear some wild and crazy fans and showing them what it's like to come down here in Southern Ohio, down on the Ohio River, and see some high school football. So, looking forward to it, Gene.
All right, well, appreciate it, man. And
Yep.
We'll talk at you later.
Go Birds.